Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this the news beat presented to you by Ladies Like. Follow the beat from the studio to the street. Info with the flow keeps you sharp and in the know. Sit back, relax, enjoy the news. Follow. Uganda is among the top-ranked countries with the world's highest HIV infection rates, as 1.3 million people in the small East African nation are living with HIV/AIDS. However, Uganda, along with Kenya and Nigeria, were the first 3 African countries to receive the generic DTG single tablet to help in the fighting of the viral disease. The new age drug, which has already been in use in Asia, Europe, and America, will now be available in 92 poor countries, beginning with Africa. This was made possible after the joint UN program on the HIV and African governments, along with the pharmaceutical industries and the US President's Emergency for AIDS Relief came to an agreement to reduce the price of the drug and make it accessible to those in need of the HIV treatment. The 1 pill a day fixed dose, developed by Milan Laboratories and Aurobindo Pharma, will cost only 270,000 shillings per person per year, down from the 3.5 million shillings the AIDS patients have had to endure. According to the clinical studies, the inclusion of the drug DTG in HIV treatment has resulted in a more rapid suppression of viral load with less side effects and reduced the HIV drug resistance, which has become a threat on the African continent. This year, the WHO issued guidance to the countries on how to transition safely and rapidly to the new DTG-based antiretroviral treatment and therapy in an effort to reach all 36.7 million people in the world living with HIV.
Hey, what do you think of my drawing?
Not bad. Maybe something for the Uganda Museum.
Level on that building, there's an art space far more interesting. It all started with the political idea of African minds to break free. See, for too long, African identity has been defined by others. Many people are now bothered and think it is time to redefine African society, including the art history. Hannah O'Leary from London Auction House, Sotheby's, says African art is becoming immensely popular. In an auction this year, earlier, African art was sold for $3.8 million. The buyers came from all over the globe and they find African art dope. In Cape Town, on the waterside, the most ambitious art project of all resides a contemporary art museum with 9 floors. Couple of weeks ago, opens its doors. The Zaitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, or MOCA, is an old renovated grain silo which hosted 24,000 people. During the opening weekend, it's the biggest museum on the continent. From a dragon made of bicycle tubes by Nicholas Lobo to the ghostly cowherds of Nandi Bamdambo, the museum is a deep place as much as a show. It is a safe space for discussions about religion, power, gender, race. Even our own Ian Mwesiga, an artist from Uganda, can be found at MOCA. So if you want to pay a visit, no need to buy a ticket. Every Wednesday, Africans don't have to pay, and the children's entry is always free.
Thank you, Boogie Mo. I might take my little ones too, since art, African or other, is something for everyone. Hey, what are those bamboo sticks for?
These sticks will be recycled and turned into bicycles.
What? That's cool.
A group of innovative Ugandan youths are making bike frames to European countries, and their business makes good money. It started in 2011 when an American instructor trained Nilduden Kasoma at the Entrepreneurship Institute of Technology in Luala. Kasoma now has his own company and called it Bugali, which means the bamboo bicycle in Uganda. The value of bamboo is not yet seen here. So many people give away sticks for free to Kasoma. This is a good deal. His 5-man business is running on hills. Bamboo is also a cooler material than the average boring metal, and you will not believe what is in the frame. They use backlogs to strengthen the game. International research has shown that even if you weigh more than 170 pounds, the bamboo bike will not let you land with your face on the ground. The only challenge now is the duration. Kasoma's team needs 20 days for 1 frame production. This is why they lose business to developed countries who are more equipped, but no worries. The bamboo bicycle is the next big thing all over the world. You will see them rolling. I'm MC Loy, reporting for Newsbeat.
Last week I was at Design Hub Kampala, where I saw some of the best rappers in Africa. They were hosted by Gota Institute to discuss art for activism across the continent and how their music is an agent for change. If you were there, you know they rocked the stage. The concert kicked off with Rwanda's Eric One Key and featured Kenya's Juma and Tanzania's Nash MC. There was Oman, Outspoken and Monza from Senegal, Zimbabwe and Mauritania. Megalo and Ghanaian Stallion from Germany took the crowd through a lyrical journey. And who represented Uganda? Seth Nelson, Abrams, Sylvester, MC Yella, Ladies Light with DJ Nesta. When Bobby Wine finally stepped on stage, the crowd was ready to receive his message. The meaning behind your music, your voice. A reminder that citizens always have a choice to use their skills to spread awareness, to use their voice as a social conscious, to speak out and stand up against injustice. That was the news of the beat. Next week will be another hit. Still ladies like reporting live and direct with love and respect. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the